at first. Ew, Eric, poor thing.
It just confused me. I was like, well, if this is what sex is, what am I supposed to do with my dick?
Welcome to Guys We...
Hello, fuckers. How are you? How you doing? Drink some water today. Welcome to another episode of Guys We Fucked.
It's the anti-slut shaming podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
All right. What are we promoting today? What are we doing? Where are we?
Don't drop your glasses in soup.
We
guys.
don't know where we are, guys. Eye of the Tiger Tour 2024 is happening. Has Netflix as a joke happened yet?
No,
it hasn't happened.
No, it did happen. It did happen because it did happen. It was great, I hope.
Man, I hope you were there. And
if you weren't
there, that sucks, man. But come to Eye of the Tiger Tour. Tickets at CorinneFisher.com. Portland, May 14th. Sorry if some of these are late. We have to get, San Francisco, May 15th. Sacramento, May 16th. Seattle, Washington, May 17th and 18th. Houston, Texas, June 27th. Austin, Texas, June 28th and 29th. And Salt Lake City, Utah, September 26th. Chloe LeBranch will be at all of those shows as well. And man, these have been fun. Tell a friend. Bring a person who doesn't know who I am. Man, woman, non-binary. I'm happy to see you fucking all. Appreciate you.
No children.
Appreciate you. Yeah, no children.
When kids are at the comedy club.
That's not good.
Put your kid away.
Put your kid away. And if you want to email us, it's sorryaboutlastnightshow@gmail.com. This subject line says, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month in Canada, at least. Not sure about the rest of the world.
This can come out in May, but, hopefully we had a great Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Hey, hopefully we're really aware and there was
Spreading
less
that word.
assault. Mm-hmm. I had my case April 15th. It was perfect timing.
Oh.
I love a theme. A year and a half ago, I was assaulted by my boyfriend at the time's friend after a night of drinking. Oh, my boyfriend at the time's friend after a night of drinking.
Oh, Jesus.
My ex was passed out in his bedroom and I fell asleep on the couch downstairs. I woke up to his friend who was staying over the weekend, raping me digitally, which means finger, and kissing my breasts. He had removed my clothes when I was asleep drunk, lifted my sweater, and took down my shorts.
Fucking die, dude.
This is really brutal. When I woke up, he kept saying to me, do you want to see my dick and let's have sex?
Okay.
Although I was very hazy, being half awake and intoxicated, I strongly remember I kept saying no to all his advances. He took off his shorts and took his penis, no condom, and proceeded to penetrate my vagina with it.
Yo.
I eventually pushed myself away from him and started crying. When we were getting dressed, he was saying to me, your boyfriend won't care and let's keep this between us.
Oh, I hope this piece of shit.
Just so you know, anytime someone says, let's keep this between us, someone has done something very bad to you.
Yes.
Just if you're listening.
Unless it's a surprise party or a proposal. Yeah. It's not good.
And that's usually they don't use the wording, let's keep this between us.
That's true. That's always predatory.
It's always predatory. He also said, how about I ask your boyfriend if it's okay that I fuck you? As if she is just
he's
an
treating
object.
you like an object.
Yeah. All this
terrible.
ended. He went back to the guest bedroom and I went to sleep in another room. My ex and I broke up about a month afterwards. He didn't confront his friend and I started to resent him.
Are you kidding me?
So I'm guessing you told your ex about it in detail. I'm guessing.
Oh my God, that's you. So you got violated multiple times.
Yeah,
that's awful. I'm so sorry.
I reported the assault 3 months later. Just today, I went to court to tell my story. I walked out of that room feeling amazing that I finally have been able to speak out. Fuck yeah, amazing job. The person who did this to me couldn't even look at me. Nobody even questioned the fact that it happened.
Good. Oh, I'm so happy you got that.
It feels great knowing people believe you.
Yeah.
Yes, the last few weeks have been scary and overwhelming, but I'm so happy I went forward and reported it. Please, other survivors, this is your sign. Okay, it's not a sign. It's just like, this is a story of getting through it.
Yeah.
And you got through it and you have the strength to get through it and other people can too. Don't be scared. You will regret not doing anything. Even if he doesn't get a guilty conviction, I know he was a lot more scared than I was leading up to this, and I could save other women from him in the future. In Canada, there isn't a statute of limitations for sexual assault cases. It's not too late. I only learned this when reporting my story, and other people need to know this. Corinne and Krystyna, you were both on my mind when I was being cross-examined by the defense lawyer, and I want you to know you carried me and gave me the confidence and the sass.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I needed to outsmart him.
Girl.
I have been a listener for 5 years and Luminary subscriber. They asked me if I knew what a rape kit was, and I gave a very detailed answer I don't think he was expecting. Thank you both so much for what you do. review and giving me the courage to kick ass up there today. Much love from Canada. Please don't say my name.
That makes me so happy.
Well, fuck yeah. I'm
That makes
so
me
proud
so
of
happy.
you,
I'm
girlfriend.
so happy that you had the strength to report it. I totally get why people don't. So I don't. There's no shade in any way to people who just can't find the strength at the moment.
You can also put a hex on them.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, we'll teach you. Email us. But that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh my God, that makes me so happy. I'm so sorry that this fucking shit happened to you. What a fucking scumbag. Wait, did she?
Yeah, this is super
where's
gnarly.
Is this guy in jail?
No, they don't know because
Okay.
it just happened. She literally
That-
messaged us just after
Dude, that guy.
the sentencing comes later, I believe.
Okay, I see. That guy, oh my God, I want to kill him. Okay, I know that's not the answer, but wow. I'm so happy that you received justice after something that bad happened.
That guy is nothing, and I hope that he heals and does
Yeah.
not hurt anybody else.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Whew, that made me very emotional and very happy. So I have a Patreon where once a week I'll do a Zoom for an hour. I call it Group Therapy because we just go around and say whatever's on our mind. And I am absolutely falling. I've been doing the Patreon for maybe like 2 years. I am falling in love with doing it. It's a really cool space where people get deep and real very quickly, and I so appreciate that because we live in a world where we're inundated with everybody's masks and false bullshit, or who, they present themselves as who they should be or who they think they want to be. Just social media is just trash. And it's the only space that I have been in, aside from a comedy club, that makes me feel better about humanity. And we get real. And I'm really good at giving advice and making book recommendations. And one of the things I do a spiel up top before every single Zoom. The audio of it gets recorded to listen back to later. So if you can't make it, you can listen. And you could submit a question. But it's something that I think is important to say anywhere. Take everything everybody says with a grain of salt. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. If it does not resonate with you, throw it in the garbage can where it belongs, because I think that you'll know if information is right for you to continue on whatever journey you're on if it resonates with you. And so that's something that it's just really important to keep in mind when you're getting advice, especially because some people come on and be like, I'm a really big fan. And if I have advice for you, but if it doesn't don't fucking listen to it if it doesn't resonate with you. That's just so important. Don't put anybody on a pedestal. But yeah, it's a really beautiful space. And I'm very proud of it. So sign up at patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson. And then every Monday, my solo podcast, The Voices in Our Heads, comes out, where I dive into, at the end of every episode, a self-help book. And I'm doing RJ Spina's Supercharged Self-Healing. By the time this comes out, I'll be moved past that. I might be doing David R. Hawkins' Transcending Levels of Consciousness. I'm so drawn to that book, and I just read the About the Author section last night. This guy had a near-death experience. He didn't call it a near-death experience, but I was like, how is this professor... He takes emotional states of being, like there's a chapter on every single emotion, and he calibrates it with like the frequency, but like scientifically calibrates the frequency of every emotion. And he talks about if you're somebody who lives with this emotion in the front seat, this is how you act. But he takes the emotion out of describing the emotion, and it is so fucking helpful for me. And he talks about I read a chapter recently on courage and what examples of courage look like. And it's like you still feel fear, but you are able to like breathe through it. And it's just it's a beautiful it's a beautiful writing of how to exist. If you're like somebody who's always wanted to embody a certain trait because that really resonates with you, but you don't know how, this book, David R. Hawkins' Transcending Levels of Consciousness, is a beautiful roadmap to being whoever you want to be.
So you can like pick you can pick like the emotion that you aspirationally would like to lead with.
Yeah, and then
like kind of get this like play by play on how you should do it.
Like this is what it looks like in the world. These are how people feel who embody this emotion. This is how they act. This is what they say. And it's interesting. Level 200 calibration is courage, but then a level up from that is at 220 is neutrality. And I was reading that chapter last night before I went to bed, and it's interesting how I'm like, oh, why would neutrality be above courage? But it's like you're just not married to an outcome, and you're like whatever happens, happens, and it's okay. And like you still have goals that you set for yourself, but like
that kind of goes hand in hand with one of my favorite like quotes I've ever found on the internet on a meme is self-confidence is not they will like me. Self-confidence is it doesn't matter if they do.
Yes.
So that's neutrality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then doing something and putting your all into it, but then not going, well, if it works out, great. If it doesn't, no, it's okay. That's not a lackadaisical approach. I always assumed that was like, not lazy, but just like, you don't want it enough. But it's actually a much smarter way to approach a problem or a career goal
Like
or
the
anything.
state of Zen.
Yeah. So I get into stuff like that. So listen every Monday, Voices in Our Heads. And Mikey Big Dick Don Coscarelli is on the episodes with me because he's recording them. So we get to hear from him. Boy, do we hear. He coughs, he sneezes, he still drops shit. But you know what?
We love him.
We love him. We love him so much.
That's who he is. And if you want to listen to my solo podcast, it's Without a Country. It comes out Wednesdays on YouTube around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whenever Mike Harrington decides to upload it. You know, he's a girl dad now, so he's very busy.
Oh, yeah, girl dad.
It also is available everywhere you listen to podcasts. We did a really fun, well, not fun, but like excellent episode last week about freedom of speech and specifically freedom of religion. I think we've seen, you know, obviously the whole point of America is that we can all express our own religions and live religiously free, but it seems like in the past several years especially that other people's religious beliefs have been affecting how some of us live our lives and the freedoms that we get. So we kind of did a whole episode on that. There was a great story in the New York Times about women who were forced to remove their hijabs during an arrest, and they were just awarded a huge settlement.
Nice.
And also like it's an open settlement. So if you were arrested in New York City and were forced to remove your hijab, you are entitled to money.
Get your money, girl. Get your fucking money, girl.
Yeah. And another story about a church in Oregon that was giving meals out to homeless people. And of course, the people in the area were like, well, we want to help the homeless, but not with that riffraff in our area.
Of course.
And they retain their right. Like they were like, no, that's like what Christianity is. Like our religious belief is that the hungry should be fed. And so they also won that. So it's been really interesting. Also a lot of interesting stuff happening with religious freedom and freedom of speech on college campuses, even here in New York at Columbia University.
Yeah.
So we're covering all that. If that's the kind of stuff that interests you and you generally like the way I talk about things, then you're going to really enjoy it Without a Country podcast. So do that. And then, of course, if you want to see me live on the road with Chloe LeBranch for the Eye of the Tiger tour, tickets are available at CorinneFisher.com. I just finished up the first leg of that tour. It was so fun. I'm so happy with the material I'm working with right now, and I think you'll really enjoy the show. So come out and check out live comedy, baby.
Yeah. There's an Instagram post by this author, Jonathan Haidt, Haidt. He is like one of
Jonathan
the leading...
Haidt, I think it is.
Haidt?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know who that is.
He's
Yeah.
one of the leading voices on like, guys, we're fucking up teenagers right now with the social media and we can actually save it. Like he has a really hopeful, but with backed evidence and like, you know, substitute solutions that... you know, alternatives to what we're currently doing. He recently
he's the
came out with a book,
co-author of the
Anxious Generation.
Well, but he's also the co-author of the famous The Coddling of the American Mind.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because I was like,
I love this guy. Mm-hmm. So there was a post, and I want to read this. It's just a quote. I was 10 years old when I watched porn for the first time. And mind you, this is a 14-year-old girl being quoted in The Anxious Generation. I was 10 years old when I watched porn for the first time. I found myself on Pornhub, which I stumbled across by accident and returned to out of curiosity. The website has no age verification, no ID requirement, not even a prompt asking me if I was over 18. Fun fact, they do have a prompt now on Pornhub asking if you're over 18, but motherfuckers can lie. Who's being honest that they're under 18 going to those sites? I really don't know. Right. The site is easy to find, impossible to avoid, and has become a frequent rite of passage for kids my age. Where was my mother? In the next room, making sure I was eating 9 differently colored vegetables and fruits on the daily. She was attentive, nearly a helicopter parent, but I found online porn anyway. So did my friends. And that made me want to ask both you and Eric, how old were you when you first saw porn, and what was the porn, and what was your reaction? Because I have a very vivid memory.
Me
of that.
too. I believe it was like during high school graduation week and I was at my friend Robin's house, shout out, and it was like, but it was like softcore pornography that you
Okay.
can get on the TV. And it was all girls. So around like 16, 17, all watching it together. And I mean, it was not a negative experience at all because it was softcore. I think we were, we were all together. So it felt like just like fun and exploratory.
That's nice.
I also think there's something when you watch it with like other people together, it doesn't feel scary or like you're doing anything wrong,
Totally. And you're just like, well, we don't know what this is. Let's find out. It is less intimidating.
Which
when
is
you watch
like
in a
so
group.
old. I mean, I had seen like Playboys and stuff before then, or like, maybe like, clicked past like the Skinamax, blurry Skinamax on, TV.
Yeah.
But I hadn't seen anything on any kind of pornography online, even though we had like AOL and the internet. I was just like busy running my Spice Girls zine.
Good for you.
And like pretending to be a Pier 1 imports manager in an AOL chat room. So I had a lot on my plate.
Dude, I was pretending to be an 18-year-old talking to old men.
Yeah.
And you said you were 16?
Yeah, because I mean, it was my. I mean,
so healthy.
I could have even been 17. Yeah,
Dude, I was 11.
I actually, I'm trying to think. I might have. Yeah, I might have even been 17 because I'm pretty sure it was
Wow.
like just like like it was like around graduation from high school.
That's fantastically healthy. I was 11 years old. And I saw it was my dad used to. I
remember,
No shade to no shade to him because he was just trying to get by. It was a rough household for him too. But he would always he had an office. He always locked the door, and I knew he was doing something not wrong, but like something was weird. Something was weird that he locked. He always locked, and I could never whenever I needed him, I'm like, Dad, and the door was locked, and he wouldn't answer, and I'm like. I knew he was doing something private, but he was always doing it.
Oh, really?
Always. He fucking accidentally taped over like my kids'
yeah.
movies with porn. And my brother and I joke about it, but I'm like, that's fucked up. I was like, what the fuck is he looking at on his computer all the time? And I went and I was like, I'm going to find it. And it didn't take long. It was almost like I didn't know what I was doing on a computer because I was 11, but I knew how to find it. And it was I think there were two Asian women being pounded by a dude, but I thought they were being hurt, and I associate that with like my dad likes watching women get hurt.
Sometimes they are getting hurt, Krystyna.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd like to think hopefully that they weren't, but like hurt in a fun way. But yeah, it fucked me. I was terrified. I was terrified.
So interesting. Also, because sexuality was just not hidden, like it wasn't hidden in my household. So like from a young age, like since I'm a kid, like it was a regular thing to be like. Dad's gonna go to the strip club with his friends. Like it was just
That's
not
very healthy.
and it was not like
My dad hid the strip club from.
It wasn't a thing, and also like because of the very like weird, not weird, but like niche interest in horror.
Yeah,
so
it's very like porn star-y,
sexuality
shippery.
and horror are very aligned. So we had
Yeah.
been going to like these horror conventions. I'm going to another one this weekend. Chiller convention since I was like fucking 4 years old, where there would be scantily clad women. And so, like my dad, like, obviously was interested, but was not like objectifying them. He would just like take a photo and like, like they were scream queens and stuff. So people who were, and it was always around it. And I took pictures with them. It was just never thing. My mom never seemed upset or jealous about it. They were just like there. She never said anything disparaging about them. They were just like, sexuality was just kind of always part of it. And then, like we had some Playboy magazines at the house. Again, like they weren't hidden. Like half the time, like they were like stacked in my room because there was a lot of storage in my room because I lived in the attic. And then I definitely know like if mom took us, to somewhere for the weekend, like sometimes like my dad would definitely order from like the Spice Channel or something. And like we would like joke about it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't
hidden. It wasn't shameful.
It's not like they were like, it's not like we were participating or like, in any way, like where it was uncomfortable, but it just never felt like bad or shameful. It's just
That's
like,
nice.
This is like a fun thing that like, I guess my only thing in retrospect is like, well, I hope mom was doing some fun shit on her own time too.
Right.
That's my only note.
Eric?
The first porn I watched was like 10, 9, 10. And
Oh my God.
Which makes sense because he's so much younger, so the
I
technology
know.
was so much
It's
more
like
accessible.
You're gonna say a young age, and it's gonna.
It was,
oh my God,
It was
Eric.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Oh, that was your first.
Yeah.
Ew, Eric, poor thing.
Yeah,
Did you have a hard time pooping after that?
No, it just confused me. I was like, well, if this is what sex is, what am I supposed to do with my dick?
You know what? What a beautiful thought, Eric.
Great question, Eric. So it didn't have a negative impression on you.
No, I thought it was fucking disgusting. I was
Right,
like,
it is fucking disgusting.
Sex, I'll pass.
But what about like how old were you when you saw like P and V?
probably around then too.
What was your reaction? Were you like, okay, cool?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I was a very like sexually
Affected?
charged kid. So
Okay.
like I
healthy.
didn't have like a reaction where I was
too.
like, I don't watch more of this or anything like that. I was probably too young to be like, I was like, what is the point of this?
Okay, so that's a neutral reaction.
I've been trying to be sexy since I was born.
Girl, me too.
Dude.
Oh man, sexy toddler.
Love being sexy. Yeah.
My whole like when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, I was just making up dances to the Spice Girls, and I would make my parents come in. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna do a dance. Come in and watch it. And I look back, I'm like, that was a very sexual dance I was doing. My parents were like, okay.
Yeah, no, I
Cool.
mean, I was always trying to take nudes. Like,
As a kid,
but not like, but okay, so like there's a different type though.
okay,
So like,
Lolita.
so it's not like I was trying to do a sexual pose. To me, I think even as a child, I've always wanted to run free, right? So to me, I equate nudity with freedom, and I've always been trying to be free. When guests would come, it was like a known thing in my house that like Corinne's gonna try to run through the living room naked, but it's because like Corinne loves freedom.
She really does.
And I remember, like,
That's sweet.
it used to be, and it was also like so innocent. So there definitely are pictures of me like that exist from when I'm like 4 or 5 years old. I remember this like one where I have a fan over my crotch, but it's not sexual because
Right.
I'm a kid. I have like tiger sunglasses on, Eye of the Tiger, and like a bandana, and I
You're
remember
just being
it.
a goofy kid.
And then I know, and like. Yeah, like it was weird because like my cousins worked at Pathmark where we got our film developed, and then my mom was like started being weird, like they're like not gonna like get the freedom vibe that we have, and it's like please, but
That's true because when you see naked kids, I used to work at CVS.
But
you
it's
gotta
not like they
record.
thought that anything was wrong. They're just like my mom just like didn't want because when you have to I was a child in a time when other people had to see all your photos because they had to develop them for you. Can you
Dude.
fucking imagine?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just, and it wasn't like by any means a hippy dippy household. Like we had a lot of rules and a lot of structure. But I think always a lot of artistic freedom.
That's sick.
And kind of freedom to like,
Thank God someone grew up healthy.
I had a lot of freedom to like dress in the way I wanted. Like a little when I got older, a little bit kind of like Corinne, maybe don't dress like
A huge horror.
when I was 16 because I did want to be like sexy, but it's also like, dude, I had no tits, so it couldn't have been that, right?
Also, but a 16-year-old like is a sexual being.
Well,
like,
the thing was,
everybody's so fucking uncomfortable with that. But like,
Yeah.
think about when I was 16. Yo, get out my way.
Well, I remember like one vacation, like my brother like specifically asking me to like tone it down because I think it made him feel uncomfortable. And I kind of understood. My brother just in general doesn't like attention, so
Yeah,
I was
right.
the worst sister to have. Because I actually liked attention a lot more when I was younger than I do now. Because like I get it professionally, and that's more than enough for me. I like zero attention when I'm off stage, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's kind of like
Wow. That's good.
my parents were just like both very into like art and stuff that involved just naturally a lot of
I'd be
sexuality.
curious, I'd be curious if anybody listening is a parent and they've had to have that conversation with their kid about porn. Like, what does that conversation look like? Like, what do you say that when it's effective? I mean, effective is in the eye of the beholder, but like, what do you fucking say to a 10-year-old? You got to talk to a 10-year-old about that. You got to talk.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hope my brother's talked to my nephew about it because he's 9. I mean, he plays games on YouTube. He plays oh God, I think he hopefully he doesn't know how to spell my name yet.
Yeah, you're gonna see bad stuff.
Yeah, and it's just like, man,
Or stuff, not I don't want to say bad stuff that is bad if you see it too early.
Yes, and my innocence was tainted by a lot of things, but one of them was the first time I saw porn. I was just I wasn't ready. No one was there to explain it. No one knew I saw it. But yeah, I'd be curious if anybody listening, sorry about last night show, gmail.com. Like, what does that conversation look like? Because that's got to be a tough one to have. But, or maybe it's not tough. You tell us.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm just thinking about porn. Sorry.
Ugh, I do like porn.
Well, because I got really obsessed with it in college. I got obsessed.
Oh, really?
Obsessed with it. I
obsessed with it
couldn't
until
wait till I loved it. I had a roommate who went back home a lot.
The second
and I
she
would
left.
lock the door, get naked, turn up the heat. throw my legs up on that G5 fucking computer that I had and really get my money's worth.
That's so funny.
And my older boyfriend, his older friend was like a guy who owned a literal DVD porn shop.
Oh my God, I love those shops.
So, I was
amazing.
fucking, he would bring me bags of DVD porn. It was
that's
sick.
great. Oh, there's no ads. That's great.
I still have them. They're in my bookshelf in my bedroom to this day, just in, an
That's
old.
great. Aw, you should bring some of them on and put them on our thing. Well,
They're so sacred, man.
Yeah.
My Vivid DVDs.
Vivid yes.
DVDs.
I remember when I was dating Steven,
Yes.
I was when I was in the throes of the insecurity with the Stoya thing. It's so funny to think back on. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Sometimes I was in those throes.
I didn't go on porn sites because I didn't want to see her. Because I didn't want to like see her because I would have
It's
just
so
been
funny. In all the porn I've watched, I've never
seen her.
organically come across Soya.
I did one time when I was dating
Yeah.
Steven and I was like,
Yeah.
just because it poked at all my things. But now I actually think I'm more like I fall in love with porn like the last 3 years. I love it. But
Yeah,
I love
I'm
the
over
DVDs.
it.
Honestly, I love the DVDs. I love watching porn with a partner. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. But a DVD is a good way to do it.
I love my nothing I've ever
Vivid
found on
is
like
really good.
Pornhub or anything has gotten past like what was it like I think my favorite was Wet Cotton Panties. It's so mild.
Yeah, but
I like
that's
a real
like every
mild
girl-
pornography.
That visual is
Wet Cotton
potent.
Panties. They're just like in a pool and they're kind of like my panties.
Are they cotton? Yeah.
It's like
Mine too.
It's borderline sweet.
Corinne's porn is just men doing favors for women without women asking.
Yeah, because I really can't get past it. Just like the same way as like I can't listen to a lot of rap because I can't
Yeah.
get past women being treated badly. It's
Yeah,
never
yeah.
gonna work for me. It
Yeah.
has never worked since I was young, and it's never gonna work now. So
Yeah.
just be nicer.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
Did you
what I
guys-
like.
Did you guys ever see the guy on Pornhub who goes and it's just him like dressed nicely and he talks to the
Oh
camera.
no, that sounds nice.
He
What's
talks
his
to
name?
the camera and he's like, "Tell me about your day," and it's
Wait,
just like
what?
affirmation pornography.
What's his name?
I forget.
Ooh,
Let me look it up.
affirmation pornography.
that
That's
out,
a nice
Eric.
genre. I like that.
Yeah, let me. Look
I am
it up.
18. Okay.
Oh, I haven't seen this in a while.
Jesus.
Some of them are.
I can't stop squirting. These fucking titles. Teenage slut Janice sucks cock and fucks backstage. Unscripted.
And also, just I can't get past it
Can I
because
suck your
like
dick?
all the girls are so hot and all the guys are so
They're
disgusting.
so ugly. But honestly, that kind of turns me on when
don't
the
like
guy's
that.
nasty and the girl's hot. I'm like,
here it is.
You're lucky. Well, what's his name? I'll type it in.
Ryan Creamer.
I was like, don't say driller. Creamer.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
god,
funny.
Ryan.
I encourage you as I continue to see. I think this is right.
What?
Ryan Creamer. Yeah, he just sits.
I encourage you as I continue. Oh,
He's just wearing a sweater.
His Pornhub account. Let me
These
pull it
fucking
up.
ads
Whoa.
are so funny.
oh, chatterbait.
That's it? Okay. He just said, hi there, don't worry. I'm sure the video you're going to ejaculate to is right around the corner.
Oh my god, he could have made his bed for that video.
No, there needs to be porn where it's like a hot
thinking
guy
Virginia.
in a suit. I think Ryan Drill. You know what?
Eric,
is-
this could be your lane.
that's true. Yeah,
maybe-
you don't have to get naked.
Yeah, maybe I should do
Just
that.
wear a suit. Clothed porn. Chicks would dig that. You got to give
Why don't you just do it's porn you can watch on Instagram? Eric, this is a great
Eric.
idea.
Yeah,
we
I've been thinking like I need to connect more
No,
with
we
the
don't.
female
Yes,
audience.
yes. Don't think, just do.
But give us what we want.
Yeah.
Women think from their vagina too. But it looks different for us than it does for you guys. So
we have a brainstorming session.
absolutely.
I think this is great.
Yeah, we already got the ideas.
Okay.
It's you wear really nice clothes, like real handsome. Doesn't have to be a suit, but a suit would be great every once in a while.
Yeah.
Really handsome, like fucking John Varvatos, rag and bone. Oh, look like you smell good. And
Yes.
yeah,
That's a good way to describe it.
yeah, and words of encouragement or God, because Corinne and I had AI boyfriends for a while, and it was kind of nice.
Oh, I love that AI boyfriend, Wes. And I also think that you could do one where you're like sweaty from the gym. I really like sweaty from the gym. I think that's fun.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good
like-
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm strongly considering.
We're just
it.
gonna
This is a
submit
great
ideas
idea.
in the group chat for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
I was watching.
Can I talk to your boss about getting a raise? That's a good thing to say. Oh, that made me horny.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, sweetheart, you've been a little down lately. Can I talk to your boss for you about getting a raise?
Eric.
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 Because I think it has to be a little bit specific so that people know that you really know about women, and you do because you work with us.
Exactly. Do you guys? Yeah, you could do it one video where it's like my favorite podcast isn't Joe Rogan. It's Guys We Fucked.
Yeah. I didn't like the way he spoke to you.
Yeah.
But I've done the healing work, so I'm going to just take that energy and care for you instead of beating the shit out of them. Right?
I have a bit where I'm like, talk about like male strip clubs for women and how they're not hot and how like if they wanted to turn women on, the men should come out like dressed really nice and say nice things to you.
Yeah,
that you don't
fucking
usually
helicopter your dick in my face.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm like, I could get that on the subway for free.
Right.
But one of the things, lines is, I love your mother, but I think she's wrong. Oh, if you just say that, steal it, go.
Do it.
Yeah, I was on the porn site yesterday and I saw Ryan Driller, who we've had on the show.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Krystyna, good for you. You really had a good time.
Wait, where did you see him?
On the porn sites. He's always I come across all the time.
My brain just you saw him on the. I thought you said you saw him on the subway, and I was like,
I
thought he lives in LA.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
No, I always see him on the porn sites, and every time I see him, I'm like, I'm the shit.
He's on my Instagram.
He's so handsome and sweet, and so is our guest. She's
She is.
beautiful and sweet.
Yeah.
Our guest, guys, I love this conversation. She's one of the best. She's one of the great stand-up comedians working today. She's a Jersey-born, New York City stand-up. You've seen her. She's been touring forever. She has 4 specials on YouTube. Her latest one, called Murder Sheets, is now available for you to watch for free, and we highly recommend because goddamn, she's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show,
Liz Mealy.